All right, so today I'm going to be going over some thoughts on this GoPro Hero 7. So the first thing that I was excited about was the live streaming feature. You're supposed to be able to live stream from the GoPro Hero 7 right to YouTube, and I thought this would be pretty cool that I could live stream the Bafang rides. You know, I could show you what it's like to move around New York City at 19.9999999 miles an hour. So I wanted to go over how it is that live streaming works and show you what it's like configuring it. So here I have an LG G7 phone, and here I have the GoPro Hero 7. So let's open up the GoPro app and show you what it is like to connect that to the GoPro. So I'm going to go over here, and the first thing you have to do on the GoPro is in Preferences, Connections, you're going to set wireless connections to on, and then you're going to go over here to Camera. And okay, it wants your location services to be on. That's fine. We're going to turn my location services on. Here we go. And camera. So I'm going to click on the camera. Now the phone is going to turn its Wi-Fi network on, and it's going to connect to the Wi-Fi of the camera. So you could see on the phone that at this point you're able to see on the phone whatever the GoPro is pointing at, which is kind of cool. Now let's see what happens when I go to live stream. So I go to live and I click on Setup Live. Now here's where the first sad part comes in. So I have two YouTube accounts. These are two YouTube accounts, and I have them under the one email of rossmangroup@gmail.com. Now I just hit log out on one of those accounts because I want to show you what it's like to log in. And one of the glitches in this application is that it doesn't ask you which YouTube account you want. So okay, live streaming unsupported. It looks like your GoPro doesn't support this feature. Which, see how, this is where I'm getting to the whole buggy thing. So this GoPro live streamed last night, yet over here it just said this GoPro does not support live streaming. Kind of funny. But I'm going to go to set up live stream to YouTube. Now, unlike many applications like Streamlabs or any of the plugins like TubeBuddy, this does not have the ability to... Bluetooth is on. Okay, it says Bluetooth is not on, even though Bluetooth is on. Turn on Bluetooth to stream live. Remove your Hero 7 Black from the camera screen. Connect your camera again. But as you can see, Bluetooth is on in my phone and has been on this entire time. So we're just going to go back. We're going to disconnect and connect again. So yeah, one of the things that bothers me is you cannot choose which account that you use. So I'm streaming to my main account. I cannot stream to my live account because it will automatically choose a YouTube account that is associated with that email. All right, so let's slide over to Setup Live. Okay, now over here, I am going to choose an account. So it chose this account. Now notice once it chooses the YouTube account, it doesn't tell me, do I want to stream to Louis Rossman's main channel or Louis Rossman Live? You're stuck with essentially one channel. So there's no way for me to access the Louis Rossman Live channel here. I've actually tried doing this by creating a new email address, making that new email address the manager of the live account, but then it tries to stream to the empty YouTube account associated with that new email address because every new Gmail address is going to have a... It's no fun. So this is a small, just like a small glitch, and there's probably ways to get around it, but it's a pain in the ass. Now the next thing is that you can stream by selecting a Wi-Fi network. So the phone is then going to attach to the GoPro, and then the phone is then going to attach to a Wi-Fi network, and that's going to allow you to stream video. However, most people who are using a GoPro are not using a GoPro from the comfort of their home. They're using it while they're snowboarding, they're using it when they're riding a bike or surfing or playing sports. They're using it in an environment where you're probably not going to find Wi-Fi. So most people are going to use this GoPro with the personal hotspot in the phone. And over here it says turn on personal hotspot. And this is what I was using the other day when I was streaming from my bike. Now watch what happens when I try to turn on mobile hotspot and then use it with the GoPro. So I turned it on, I hit back again, it says reconnecting, but after it's done reconnecting, it then loops around to searching for networks and never actually connects to the mobile hotspot that I just turned on. And this is going to happen in a loop over and over and over and over again until it eventually works. So when I was doing the live stream yesterday, it took me about 20 minutes of just looping this process until it finally decided to use the hotspot network that I had created with the phone in order to stream. So again, if I am in the store and I have a Wi-Fi network right nearby, this will work. But if I don't have it nearby and I hit turn on personal hotspot, even though the tethering in the hotspot is turned on, you can see that my hotspot settings are there, mobile hotspot, and even if I use a different way to try and get back to the GoPro app, yeah, like there's back. It just says reconnecting and never goes anywhere. And it's going to continue like this for about 10 or 20 times. So this software, in my opinion, is buggy as hell. It often takes a very long time to actually connect. And once you've connected to the GoPro, it's going to say, well, you need Bluetooth to connect to it. Then you get Bluetooth enabled. You redo it. You do all that work, and then it doesn't want to connect to the hotspot. This is not something that anybody's ever going to want to do. You're about to go snowboarding with your friends, and you're going to say, wait, give me 15 minutes so I can set up my GoPro. Nah. Now, the third thing that is driving me crazy about this camera is that there are no audio inputs in the camera. Now, one may say that's to make it waterproof. Apparently, they have not heard of almost every single phone with a headphone jack that has a... This is interesting, because cell phones say we can't have a removable battery because it makes it not waterproof, but they have a headphone jack. The GoPro has a removable battery, but then does not have a headphone... This has a removable battery. It is waterproof, but they do not have an audio jack because that would not make it waterproof. So even if you're able to wrap your mind around that, there is no audio jack, but there is a USB-C jack over here that you can use in order to connect a microphone. Now, before you go out there and simply assume that you can buy any USB-C audio dongle to work with this, you cannot. Very similar to what I went over in 2016 with the MacBook, where if you were to use any dongle other than the $70 to $80 Apple dongle, it doesn't work, and I'll link to that video down below. Something similar is going on with this, where you need to use the special dongle if you want to plug in your own microphone. This is the GoPro USB-C audio dongle. It is the only way to get audio into this besides the built-in microphone, which is kind of crappy. And if you were to look up the price of that online, this dongle is available for the low, low price of, on Amazon, $136 over here used. If you go to B&H, the dongle is $50, but it is back ordered. If you go to Best Buy, you'll see that the item is no longer available. If you go to GoPro's website, you'll see that it is $50, but it is actually out of stock. So GoPro has managed to do something that's even worse than what Apple does. Not only have they gone out of their way to create a product that could have easily not had a dongle, but that needs a dongle. Not only have they created a dongle that is a special snowflake dongle that costs a lot of money and is the only dongle that will work with their product, but this dongle is out of stock from every single vendor, including GoPro themselves. So even if you wish to pay the 500% fee to get the special snowflake dongle, and even if you're willing to spend that amount of money to buy this specific thing, you cannot buy it because it is out of stock. I wanted to get one so that I could use it with this microphone. Now, you may be wondering, why would you have to buy a dongle when you already have a dongle? Doesn't this dongle work? Haven't you used it in the past before? That is a great question. The reason that you can't use this dongle is because because this thing broke. And that's one of the other reasons that people don't like using dongles. So when you have a dongle, you have another thing that can break. And particularly when the dongle is $50 to $69, that's not something that I want to deal with. So this dongle worked for about 3 or 4 recordings and then died. We're not even getting into the aesthetics of having a dongle or the doucheness of having a dongle that is $50 is the only one that will work with your device. But you can't even manage to actually keep this dongle in stock, and you're the company that makes it. And Amazon don't have it, B&H doesn't have it, Best Buy doesn't have it. Like, good luck getting your hands on that one. And again, the speeds, when you are looking to do something like live stream, fairly awful. So you take your camera, menu, camera, GoPro. Just take your nice sweet time, little GoPro. Take your nice sweet time. See, now it's not going to connect because it had to turn Wi-Fi off in order to turn tethering on. So I have to manually turn the Wi-Fi back on, which is then going to turn itself off so that I could turn the tethering on, which is then not going to work because the application won't work properly with tethering unless you hit it over 20 times. So we do the same thing again, searching for networks. Now here it says, do you want to connect to store? Store is my local Wi-Fi network. Now this will work. You will be able to stream if you have Wi-Fi nearby. Again, I have a feeling that you're probably not going to have Wi-Fi nearby while you're riding a bike, snowboarding, or playing basketball outside. Okay, now it's showing us all the Wi-Fi. Now this is where I think it actually is working. So notice how it's showing all the Wi-Fi networks, and then I can hit turn on personal hotspot and go tethering and go mobile hotspot, and then hit back. Now that it showed me the whole list, there is an actual chance of this working. Nope. Same thing as before. I thought I had a better chance because before, when I loaded this up, one of the things you may have noticed, here we go, now it's working. So it says select a Wi-Fi network. So now I'm able to choose P. Vandersteen, which is the network that I just created with the phone. And now I'm able to use this Wi-Fi hotspot to do this. But as you saw, I had to go over the settings and reconnect to the camera about 3 or 5 times to do this. So I started the stream about 12 minutes ago. So and now I can finally hit setup live stream and it's going to work. But if you do plan to live stream from this, just understand that this is not going to be something where you just, okay, cool, I'm ready to go down the mountain, open GoPro app, hit record. This is something where you're going to be taking about 10 to 20 minutes each time you want to use this in order to get that job done. It's not plug and play, and it is really, really buggy and pretty sad given the generation. If you want to use your own microphone, you will have to buy a special $50 to $70 Snowflake dongle that is the only dongle that will work with the GoPro, and you will have to hunt for it and find somebody else who has it and stab them and kill them to get the dongle because it is not in stock anywhere. That's a joke. Don't actually do that. And the best part of this, my favorite part of this has been, I was going to film it before this happened. You cannot charge it while it is in use. So I had the GoPro Hero 6, and on my bike, I have a converter so that I can have a nice OEM Samsung cell phone charger plugged into the GoPro USB to USB-C, and it helps to keep the battery from going down as fast as it would if it wasn't plugged in. I figured since the battery life in this thing after a short period of time will go down to something like a half hour or 40 minutes, it would be nice to be able to have it plugged in. One thing I've noticed with the GoPro Hero 7 versus the GoPro Hero 6 is that when I have a charger plugged into it, it actually stops working if I am recording and charging it and have it on the bike. This is something that hasn't ever happened with the GoPro Hero 6, but it managed to happen with my 7. So long story short, I think the video quality that comes from this thing for $350 is actually pretty good, and I will have links below where you can see what it looks like, both in daytime and nighttime. I like the video quality of it. It is really good. It has amazing image stabilization. However, some of the features that are advertised on this are, I mean, I almost think Paul Daniels could code better software. So that being said, thanks for watching, and as always, I hope you learned something.